In the ancient kingdom of Chu, a severe drought caused a once thriving lake to dry up. The fish, now stranded in the remaining patches of muddy water, struggled desperately to survive. Zhuangzi, witnessing this scene, saw how the fish smeared each other with slime and exchanged saliva in a bid to keep each other alive. Though he admired their mutual aid and solidarity, he couldn't help but ponder a different scenario. Wouldn't it be far better if the lake were full? In such a state, the fish could swim freely and thrive, unburdened by the need to rely on each other for mere survival. In today's world of individualism, we often look back nostalgically on the past, remembering a time when human solidarity and community were paramount. Like the fish in Zhuangzi's story, people once depended on and supported each other, weaving their lives together in close-knit communities. These communities offered not only safety and social interaction, but also made life simpler and more manageable. During times of crisis, this sense of group solidarity intensified. Many wartime stories paint a nearly romantic picture of mutual support amid great adversity. War, for all its horrors, brought people together, proving that shared sorrow is indeed half sorrow. In recent decades, amidst a backdrop of relative stability, economic growth, and technological advancement, the world has largely shifted towards individualism. While collectivism and close-knit communities still exist in many regions, people, especially in affluent Western countries, have become more self-focused and less reliant on one another. This decline in mutual reliance is driven not only by wealth, but also by technology, which has made many forms of human interaction unnecessary. In this sense, the lake is full. Like the fish, we have become self-reliant, swimming freely and often forgetting about each other. However, as communal reliance diminishes, a new problem has emerged: the prevalence of loneliness in individualistic societies. Loneliness is undoubtedly a significant issue, but without downplaying its severity, we might also consider the advantages of not needing people. This video delves into Zhuangzi's story about the fish and explores why a lake full of water brings true joy. In a lake abundant with water, a lone fish has the freedom to choose its path, seeking food and shelter as needed. It can encounter other fish, but it can also part ways whenever it desires, continuing its individual journey unencumbered. Similarly, in an individualistic society, people have the liberty to forge their own paths. Socializing with others becomes an option rather than a necessity, allowing individuals the freedom to move on from relationships if they choose. This autonomy, akin to the fish swimming freely in a full lake, embodies the essence of joy and personal freedom. In modern society, the necessity for close relationships to live has diminished, leading people to focus more on their individual pursuits. While humans still depend on others for survival, we no longer require their physical presence or personal relationships to meet our basic needs. Consequently, social ties have become optional rather than essential. A well-oiled system, heavily reliant on technology, caters to our needs efficiently. We can order anything with a click of a mouse and pay for services such as relocation, cleaning, or care when we are sick. In Europe, self-scanning checkouts are becoming increasingly common. With the advent of AI, even forms of companionship traditionally reserved for spouses might be replaced by advanced robots. While this might seem extreme, it underscores how little we may need each other's company in the future if such technological advancements become mainstream and widely adopted. A world where we no longer need to meet and speak to each other might sound like a dystopian nightmare to some, potentially crushing many under the weight of profound loneliness. However, beyond these severe consequences, could the aspect of not needing each other bring benefits? Imagine ourselves as fish in a rich, vast ocean, free to explore its depths, mysteries, and knowledge. The path to adventure lies open, inviting us to discover and experience new things. We might embark on this journey with others, but as self-sufficient beings, we can also take this journey alone. Companionship is optional. This freedom from the necessity of people grants us the liberty to spend every waking minute swimming wherever we wish and doing whatever we desire, whenever we choose. Such autonomy and independence can be a profound pleasure for those who relish the solitary path, offering a unique sense of joy and fulfillment. Albert Einstein exemplified the lone fish, thriving in solitude while deeply caring about the well-being of others. He once said, My passionate sense of social justice and social responsibility has always contrasted oddly with my pronounced lack of need for direct contact with other human beings and human communities. I am truly a lone traveler and have never belonged to my country, my home, my friends, or even my immediate family with my whole heart. In the face of all these ties, I have never lost a sense of distance and a need for solitude. Similarly, Carl Jung, who became engaged to Emma Rauschenbach in 1902 and later had 5 children with her, reflected on the impact of his marriage on his solitude. In his diary, he wrote, "I am no longer alone with myself, and I can only artificially recall the scary and beautiful feeling of solitude." This is the shadow side of the fortune of love. Jung recognized that his commitment to marriage had cost him the cherished experience of being alone. These examples from Einstein and Jung highlight the nuanced value of solitude. While both men achieved remarkable things and maintained deep care for others, they also cherished their distance from constant human interaction. Their reflections remind us that solitude can be a precious and enriching experience, offering unique insights and personal growth. When dealing with people becomes optional, we gain the freedom to retreat and spend time in solitude. While some individuals cannot tolerate being alone and choose to surround themselves with others constantly, those who appreciate solitude find it beneficial, whether it is imposed or chosen. In terms of interpersonal relationships, not needing others can indeed be a blessing. In earlier times, there was more solidarity, group activity, and involvement in each other's lives. However, close-knit communities could often be detrimental to one's tranquility, as being part of such communities meant inevitably getting entangled in the drama people create. Wherever people gather, there tends to be some form of turmoil, be it gossip, bullying, antagonism, or outright conflict. Dependence on others often brings with it these unfortunate dynamics. In contrast, when we do not need others, we are free from tolerating undesirable behavior. We are not compelled to bear the burden of associating with those we dislike just to fulfill our needs. This autonomy allows us to maintain our peace and choose our interactions, fostering a sense of independence and personal well-being. In many Western countries and other parts of the world, marriage has shifted from a mandatory institution to an optional one concerning survival. Religious authorities, who once enforced the necessity of marriage, have significantly lost their influence. Practically, men and women can now survive independently, and many successfully sustain themselves without the need for a marital partnership. This shift has brought both negative and positive consequences. On the one hand, the divorce rate has been steadily rising, resulting in an increase in broken homes. On the other hand, the growing number of individuals who choose not to marry or procreate has led to demographic challenges, such as the population crisis in Japan. While these developments reflect a broader trend towards individualism and personal choice, they also highlight the complex interplay between societal norms, personal freedom, and the practicalities of human relationships. As marriage becomes more a matter of preference than necessity, societies must navigate the implications for social structures, family dynamics, and population stability. In a world where relationships and marriage are not necessities, people naturally become more selective in their choices. Freed from the need to rely on someone else, many enjoy the perks of singlehood and may hesitate to exchange it for the commitments of a relationship. While a committed relationship can be deeply fulfilling and satisfying, it also carries potential risks and downsides. Partners can be abusive, controlling, emotionally draining, or simply not the right fit. Moreover, relationships require significant time and effort, which some people prefer to invest elsewhere. However, this selectivity comes with its own set of challenges. Being too selective can lead to difficulties in finding a suitable partner, despite a desire for companionship. The freedom from needing someone also means that ending a relationship becomes easier and quicker, a dynamic equally applicable to friendships. Not needing friends allows us to end toxic relationships and set firm boundaries. When friendship is not born out of necessity, we are more likely to befriend those we genuinely like, connect with, and share interests with. Ultimately, this shift towards optional relationships fosters a landscape where personal autonomy and genuine connections thrive, even as it presents new challenges in navigating companionship and selectivity. One major downside of belonging to a group is the expectation of conformity. Belonging often requires us to adapt, meaning we are expected to act, speak, and even think like others in the group. This pressure to conform can be stifling and limiting. Jean-Paul Sartre's famous quote, "Hell is other people," is frequently misunderstood. People often take it to mean that others are inherently terrible and should be avoided. However, Sartre's observation was more nuanced. He pointed out that we are never free from the gaze and opinions of others. The more people we surround ourselves with, the more judging eyes we endure. These opinions and expectations can profoundly impact us, making us feel trapped and compelled to conform to social norms. Some individuals willingly conform, adopting others' opinions and mannerisms out of a desire for belonging. Observing overall human behavior, it is evident that most of us care about how others perceive us. We enjoy being approved of, esteemed, and respected by others. To gain this validation, many of us jump through the hoops set in place by societal expectations, much like trained monkeys performing for approval. This drive for external validation can lead us to compromise our individuality and personal values, highlighting the tension between the desire for belonging and the need for personal freedom. Arthur Schopenhauer criticized the human preoccupation with others' opinions, noting, "By a peculiar weakness of human nature, people generally think too much about the opinion which others form of them, although the slightest reflection will show that this opinion, whatever it may be, is not in itself essential to happiness. Therefore, it is hard to understand why everybody feels so very pleased when he sees that other people have a good opinion of him or say anything flattering to his vanity." Schopenhauer's critique highlights a crucial question. Isn't our pursuit of approval detrimental to our authenticity? What if we didn't need the validation of others for our happiness, or at least only the minimum necessary to function and survive in society? We could then seize the freedom to shape ourselves and our lives according to our true preferences. Embracing this freedom does not imply that we are antisocial, lacking in compassion, or harboring ill will toward others. It simply means we do not let their gaze dictate how we live. Living authentically, free from the constant pursuit of approval, allows us to craft a life true to our values and desires. It fosters genuine self-expression and personal growth, unburdened by the weight of external expectations. This approach encourages us to engage with others on our terms, maintaining our integrity while still participating in the social fabric of life. By prioritizing our internal compass over the fluctuating opinions of others, we can achieve a deeper, more sustainable sense of fulfillment and happiness. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche takes the critique of societal conformity even further, urging us to break free from the herd, liberate ourselves from slave morality, and transcend the human condition by becoming the overman, Übermensch. According to Nietzsche, society and its moral codes hold individuals back from realizing their full potential. The overmen surpass these limitations, creating their own authentic values and meaning. In this vision, not needing people becomes a powerful enabler of personal freedom. It allows us to choose our own direction, whether we seek self-actualization or simply the tranquility of solitude. By freeing ourselves from the need for external validation and the constraints of societal expectations, we gain the liberty to shape our lives according to our deepest values and aspirations. This pursuit does not imply a rejection of all social interaction or a lack of compassion. Instead, it means that our engagement with others is based on choice rather than necessity. We interact with others not out of obligation, but out of genuine connection and mutual respect. This approach aligns with Nietzsche's call to rise above conventional norms and create a life of authentic meaning and purpose. In essence, embracing Nietzsche's philosophy allows us to explore our fullest potential and live authentically. It invites us to transcend societal limitations and craft a unique path, whether through profound self-discovery or the serene enjoyment of solitude. By not needing people for validation, we gain the ultimate freedom to become who we truly are and to live in alignment with our own values and aspirations. Not needing people is not a denial of the importance of human connection, a natural inclination that varies for each individual. For most, human connection plays a significant role in overall well-being, and the harmful effects of loneliness and social isolation are indeed real. However, not needing people doesn't mean avoiding them entirely. Instead, it grants us the possibility to embrace solitude when desired. When we are self-sufficient, we can still form associations, friendships, and even intimate relationships, but with the freedom to walk away whenever we choose. This ability allows us to enjoy the tranquility of solitude, far removed from human turmoil, without sacrificing meaningful connections. Thank you for watching. If you find the video content useful, please give us a like, a subscription, or give us your comments so we have the motivation to make the next videos better.